Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Frankfurt Studio Players production of Long Ago and Far Away, 4 one-act plays written and directed by Jerry Deaton. Here's Jerry.
Jerry. Well, thank you all. It has been a week, let me tell you that, as everybody knows. It has just been a challenge for everybody. Hi, Laura Clinton.
Hi.
We are very happy that we've got a show for you tonight. We didn't know if we would, of course, last week. I think most of you think that we canceled our show. I know Bluegrass moved theirs back, and unfortunately a lot of people think we did too. But we have not, and we're very happy that you all made it out here tonight. These are some shows that I wrote 7 or 8 years ago, and I wanted to write something about Breathitt County. And they all just sort of flooded in on me one day when I was riding a bicycle. And I ran back to the house, wrote them down. But I wanted each one of them to be something that we could all be proud of. I didn't want to certainly make fun of Breathitt County. I didn't want to look at any stereotypes. I just wanted to show you what real life back there was. So, I like history. I like telling stories, and I love Eastern Kentucky. So I've just kind of put all that together for this show for you tonight. We're going to start in 1904. We're going to work over to 1919. We're going to go on up to 1957. And then we're going to end up in modern day over in Buckhorn, which is close enough to Breathitt County to me to count as Breathitt County. It's about a mile over the Breathitt County line. So I hope you enjoy the shows. We are the Frankfurt Studio Players. We're absolutely delighted to have you all here tonight. We're going to do something a little bit different through the show. I have an unusual way of doing a play. I write 4 one-act plays. My cast typically doesn't get to see what the rest of the show is about. So tonight, the ones that wanted to, I told them they're welcome to come out and sit in the audience and watch the show. So I hope it doesn't throw us into disarray. I don't think it will. Sean, you may end up laughing at our curtain call as we try to pull it together, but I just wanted them to be able to watch the show, and here they're coming in now. But we have pulled together a wonderful cast. They have really, from top to bottom, been fantastic. So I'm going to introduce now Mr. J.T. Silence, who is also in our play, but he is the minister of First Presbyterian Church, and he has some words for you as well.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. First, I'm hoping to save 1 or 2 of you a little bit of embarrassment. If you've got something like this on your person or a watch that makes some noise and you forgot to turn it off or do whatever you do to make it stop making noise, do that. You don't want to be the person that has their phone go off in the middle of Act 2 or whatever, so do that. Some of you might need to know where our facilities are. After the first 2 acts, we have an intermission. Our facilities are right down this doorway here. There's a sign there that says restrooms and parlor on down the hall. If you give the cast about 5 minutes before you head down that way, we'd appreciate it. This is Frankfurt's oldest church, although we are in the new building, which it was new to us in 1849. Being built when it was, it's not designed for elaborate backstage areas, so we need to use that hallway for set changes and so on. So if you wait 5 minutes or so after the intermission and then use the facilities, we'd appreciate that.
Otherwise, you're going to be helping us change the set.
That's true. But we're very grateful that you're here. I know most of you probably have been greeted by Deaton over there selling concessions. Those are the proceeds of the concessions will help the youth who are taking a trip later this summer. So thanks to those of you that have already purchased. And if you want to buy something else in the intermission, Deaton will be there to help you out. But other than that, what have I forgot?
Nothing, but I do want to announce that Miss Nora Clemens is not in there in our program, but she is voice talent tonight. And she came all the way from Breathitt County, so I think we ought to give her a little bit. She's in the show tonight. We both outlived
it.
Okay, is that it?
That's all we got. Enjoy the
right.
show.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
James, this is nothing but a ridiculous use of my time. Travel all the way from Berea to Frankfurt to address such nonsense.
But President Frost, do you think they'll even let us speak this time? Their chairman over in the House of Representatives, he snuck and passed the bill out without even telling us.
Well, that remains to be seen. But again, I should be in Berea running a college, not here guessing as to whether I'll even get an audience with these gentlemen.
Do you think the senators will let me speak if they do hold the meeting? Kind of wonder if they even let me into the room.
But James, I intend to make every effort to see that you're given that opportunity. You're an educated, well-spoken citizen of the Commonwealth, and you have every right to speak your mind. Now, let's hear your remarks one more time. Practice makes perfect, you know.
Now I look at you that has called this meeting as fellow men, and I hope that you look at me the same way. Now I was educated at Berea College, and I had the opportunity to meet the white gentleman and the colored gentleman. But I never had the idea that I wanted social equality. That is not what the colored man wants, that has any sense. The colored man that has any sense does not ask for social equality. All he wants is his equal right to be educated under the law. I have associated with white gentlemen at Berea, and we have grown accustomed to the faces of each other. Now, until they grow accustomed to each other, the colored people do not know how to ask a white person for what it is they want. Now, I was a student at Berea College before this social equality question ever came up. And I hope that the matter may be properly adjusted for the best advantage of both races. And that the old ship may float on quietly and smoothly. Now, I would never deny being an old student of Berea. And I shall meet you on business, face to face. And you will look into my face as a white man. And I shall look into yours as a colored man.
James, your time at Berea was well spent. Now that treatise covers the issue quite well from the colored perspective. It's spawned from reason, contains no hint of insolence or temerity. Let's just hope that these gentlemen can relate to it, even if in the smallest of ways.
Dr. Frost, some of the representatives told you that they didn't want this bill, but when it came up for vote last week in the House committee, they almost all voted for it. Why is that?
In politics, my friend, men are often compelled not to vote according to their own best judgment, but rather to satisfy the rougher elements amongst their supporters. Now that's an aspect of human nature. It's been that way since time began. It'll probably be that way in the future.
Just ain't right. When they won't meet with us, but we both saw the entire committee go into a room just now with that old J.M. Early from Berea and some other fella who somebody said was the state superintendent of public instruction. They won't meet with us, but they'll meet with them? Oh, sir, it ain't fair.
No, that's President.
Hello, Senator. How you doing? All right. Good to see you again. Good to see you. Senator, good to see you, sir. How's your mom? Mom doing okay? Good. All right, bless her heart. She's struggled that. Good to see you, sir. Big day for us. Big day for us.
Senate Education Committee, please come to order. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Senator Pruitt.
Present.
Senator Hickman.
Present.
Senator Porter. Absent. Senator DeHaven. Absent. Senator Sublett.
Present.
Senator K-Mac.
Present.
Senator McNutt. Absent. Chairman Cantrell.
Present. Quorum being present, this committee is duly constituted to conduct business on this day, March 1, 1904. Madam Clerk, please report House Bill 25 as summarized.
House Bill 25, an act to prohibit white and colored persons from attending the same school. Representative Day, D. Breathitt. That it shall be unlawful for any person to operate any college or school where persons of white and Negro races are both received as pupils for instruction. And any person who shall operate or maintain such an institution shall be fined $1,000. That any instructor who shall teach at any college or school where members of two races are received as pupils for instruction shall be fined $100 for each day they instruct at said school. It shall be unlawful for any white person to attend an institution where Negroes are received as pupils.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Representative Day, you may present your bill, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. As you know, I hail from Breathitt County, and I have with me today in the audience the Honorable Breathitt County Judge, James Hargis, and the Honorable Circuit Judge, D.B. Redwine, who are both in complete support of this measure. Mr. Chairman, this is a simple little old bill that in the long run won't do no harm to nobody. Matter of fact, it's meant to preserve our Christian way of life and thinking, and will help protect us and everybody. All we are asking is for the coloreds and the whites not to be in the same school together. Why, it ain't no telling what's going on in them classrooms, afterwards the meetings, and why, I dread to even think about it. In the dormitories. Mr. Chairman, the colored people are not to blame for being here in this country. They was brought here by the slave dealers in New England. Now we owe a duty of kindness to them. But kindness is one thing, and to teach them to be the equals socially of the white man and the white woman is an entirely different proposition. Why, right now, President Roosevelt is welcoming Booker T. Washington, a colored man, into the White House. Well, it ain't no telling how far this is going to go unless we put a stop to it. Now, the people of Madison County, they are not objected to this. we have no opposition to Berea converting this to a colored-only school or a white-only school. But the people of Madison County are not in favor of this co-education. And I have with me a long list of names on this here piece of paper that says that they are for this bill.
Thank you, Representative Day. There being no questions from the committee, I'm aware that we have someone in the audience that wishes to speak. Mr. William G. Frost, will you please come forward? Mr. Frost, we're going to only have time for one speaker today.
But Mr. Chairman, I brought...
One speaker. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Dr. William G. Frost, and I'm the president of Berea College.
You may proceed, sir.
If it please the committee, a bit of history. Berea College was founded by a group of anti-slavery Kentuckians in 1855. In 1866, we enrolled our first colored students. Our enrollment today is 803 students, 174 of which are colored. That said, Berea College is not a lawbreaker as charged. Newspaper items regarding disorders in Berea are without foundation, as are rumors of utterances amongst our workers and disruptive actions by our northern donors. No one is compelled to attend Berea College, but no one is denied the opportunity to gain by living in Berea. White and colored do not room together, and there is no social compulsion. Now, our colored graduates, including my friend Mr. James White Esquire, who's with us today, have committed themselves well everywhere. Yes, it's true, many of our donors come from the northern states. But it is their intention to save the southern states from the savage influence of an uneducated Negro population due to a lack of educational opportunity. As this bill sets forth, Berea must build another school no less than 25 miles away from the current location if desired. Now I ask you, where's the logic in this? Is 24 miles considered a distance still open to the corruption of the white race? Berea College, North's Board of Governors intend to create social equality for the Negro race. We merely see the need to educate them. Mr. Chairman, do not whites and coloreds live, work, and conduct business within that 25-mile radius today and not manage to corrupt one another? I beseech this committee, send a study group to Berea, Kentucky, and see if any of these allegations are true, and I assure you, I know they are not. And as for the signatures on that piece of paper that Representative Day submitted to you, I also assure you that many of those same signatures are on this remonstrance I submit today.
That is a damn lie, and I will not stand for it.
Gentleman from Breathitt, you are out of order, sir. And it is I that will not stand for that in my committee. You may continue, Dr. Frost.
Honorable members of the committee, I leave you today with a mention of the bylaws of Berea College. This college shall be under an influence strictly Christian. As such, opposed to sectarianism, slaveholding, caste, and every other wrong institution in practice. The object of this college shall be to furnish facilities for the thorough education of all people of good character. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. I'd be glad to respond to any questions you may have.
There being no questions, is there a motion on the bill?
Mr. Chairman, I move that House Bill 25 be approved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
So moved.
There being no discussion, the motion on the bill is to approve House Bill 25. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Pruitt.
Aye.
Senator Hickman.
Aye.
Senator Porter, absent. Senator DeHaven, absent. Senator Sublett. Senator Sublett.
Aye.
Senator Kamak.
Aye.
Senator McNutt, absent. Chairman Cantrell.
Aye. There being 5 ayes, the measure passes with favorable expression. There being no further business before the committee, I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We are adjourned.
In March of 1904, the Day Law passed through the Kentucky General Assembly with nearly unanimous support from both chambers. Soon after, Berea filed a friendly suit against the legislation, but eventually lost the case before the United States Supreme Court. The Berea Board of Governors decided to close Berea College to black students. In response, it opened the Lincoln Institute, a university that would be for colored students only, located in Shelby County, Kentucky. The Day Law will be enforced for the next 46 years until the Kentucky General Assembly amended it in 1950, making it permissible for state universities to educate black students alongside whites. Almost immediately, Berea became the first of such state institutes to open its doors to black students. In 2004, State Representative Ted Edmonds from Breathitt County stood on the floor of the Kentucky House of Representatives and issued a formal apology to Berea College and to the African American Kentuckians for his county's role in this discriminatory practice.
Well, that act you just saw is one of the more interesting ones that I think I have written. Some of you know maybe that I was a lobbyist and worked for the General Assembly my entire career. And I didn't know about the Day Law either until Mr. Edmonds, Ted Edmonds, who I had known literally my entire life, stood up on the floor and apologized. Just flat out apologized for Breathitt County's role in that. And what I'd like for you all to know is literally every word that was written, that was delivered up there, I did not make that up. It came from newspaper articles, it came from letters, personal letters that Dr. Frost wrote, that Mr. White wrote, that Representative Day his statements, and it's, you know, it's egregious. You know, it's frightening to think that that was the prevailing thought of the time. And folks, it was 1904, and if any of you all saw my film or my play, The Feuds of Breathitt County, 1904 was a rough time in this state and a rough time in Breathitt County. And so it's not hard to believe, really, that something like this could have come out of it. One of the people, I want to mention this, the lady who was secretary was a Senate secretary for 20 years for the General Assembly. And when I wrote that part, she was on my committee, and I could hear Adele delivering those lines the whole way through. And so to hear her do that now is really special. Our next act, very Breathitt County centric. I'm from Longs Creek, and right on up the creek, a little bit, about a mile further, is the Freeman Fork of Longs Creek, and Sergeant Willie Sandling came from there. And how many of you all, I know you know of Sergeant York, okay? Everybody's seen, I think it was Gregory Peck played that. Gary Cooper, there we go, played him.
Good job, Jack.
And he was no different than Sergeant Sandlin. Sergeant Sandlin was unbelievable what he did that day. And I was fortunate to be able to draft the historical marker for Sergeant Sandlin in Breathitt County. And so that kind of gave me the seed, planted the seed for this play. He was a really unusual person, and I discovered things about him that I think you're going to find pretty amazing. So this next play is Our Willie, and I am in it too, folks. So that's why I dressed this way.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Voice of an angel.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautiful rendition of an anthem penned by Francis Scott Key back during the War of 1812, and recently declared our national anthem by President Wilson. And wasn't it sung beautifully by Perry County's very own, the lovely Betty Shepherd? Yes, it is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats and let us begin our program to honor the 143rd anniversary of the founding of our great country. For those of you who don't know me, I am State Representative Ryland Christmas Music from right here in Jackson, Kentucky.
We know who you are, Ryland.
Yes, indeed.
know the dirt.
And I am honored to have me here today, none other than Sergeant Willie Sandlin.
Hooray!
Or not far from here, over on the Freeman Fork of Longs Creek in Breathitt County. And as we all know, a now famous war hero. And next to me is Miss Cora Wilson Stewart, the founder of the Moonlight Schools over in Moorhead.
Young class.
And Miss Nettie Deaton. First female elected to local office over in Barron County, Kentucky.
That's Glasgow.
And folks, we've just received word that, provided he arrives, Governor James Black will be here as well.
Now, who went and invited him? You invited him.
Yes,
You
indeed.
invited
Now,
him.
ladies and gentlemen, I know I don't have to tell you about our Willie, but I'm going to anyway. Willie's one of our very own, and he grew up hunting and roaming the woods right here in Breathitt County. Why, you, sir, did you grow up with our Willie?
I sure did. And we used to go up there in the hills and
Yes, indeed. Willie's one of our very own, and he grew up hunting and fishing right here. Why, and what a great place this is, ladies and gentlemen. Why, I've just been told that Breathitt County was the only, that's right, I said the only county in the entire U.S. that didn't have to have a single man drafted for the war. Not a one. 485 men went over there on their own. Not a one drafted.
Now, that's cause we figured it was a mite safer over there than it was over here.
Yes, indeed. But I'll tell you this, folks. What Willie Sandlin done over there was nothing short of a miracle.
No, sir.
Willie was leading his man through the forest of France one morning, when suddenly, and without warning, they came under heavy fog. Without hesitation, Willie told his company to hold back. Hold back. Then, he simply looked at them and said, "Give me all your grenades and stay put." Stay put. From there, he ran into the arms of hell, infinitely greater than the puny old time artillery charge once performed by the Light Brigade.
Way better than that.
You tell him, Ryland. Yes, indeed, and before it was over, Willie had killed all 8 of the dreaded Huns, all by himself. Most were grenades, but he had to shoot some of them too, didn't you, Willie?
Well, it was certainly a bad day for them, sir.
Yes, indeed, and as if that wasn't enough, Willie replicated this same task. Not one, no, not one, but 2 more times that very day. Likely saved the lives of every man in his platoon.
Absolutely.
And before it was over, 24 of the dreaded Huns had succumbed to the grenades and the rifle fire of our Willie. Yeah, that's right, Willie.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was definitely a long day.
Yes, indeed, and because of what he'd done over there on that day, Willie was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, the only one in the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky to get that award. Why, some folks even say Willie's a bigger hero than that Sergeant York out there in Tennessee.
Yeah, and the French gave him a medal too.
Well, look here, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, we now have with us the Honorable Governor of our colony, James D. Black. As you know, Lieutenant Governor Black became governor just recently as Augustus O. Stanley of Shelbyville, Kentucky, moved on to be our next U.S. Senator. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, brand new to the office, Governor James D. Black.
Thank you, Representative Christmas.
Sir, with a name like Ryland Christmas Music, you have a long career ahead of you in politics.
We'll see about that,
Well, honored guests, Representative Ryland Christmas Music, and Sergeant Sandlin. I thank you and all my fellow Kentuckians for coming out here today to wish me well.
Did anybody come here for that?
Well, now, as you folks might know, some of you, I hail from down around Barberville, Kentucky. Now, as such, why, I can relate to you folks here in the mountains just like my brother.
He ain't from the mountain. No.
I remember when I helped to found Union
I
College.
didn't know it was lost.
Yes, sir. I have had a distinct interest in the education of the people from the mountains.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Why, it seemed just like yesterday.
Governor, since you seem so interested in education, what have you to say about the Stanley School book scandal?
Oh, we want to know about that. Yeah. Ooh, you got him sweating. You got him sweating.
Well, sir, we're not here today to talk about politics. No, sir, we're here to talk about our founding fathers and to talk to Sergeant Sandlin here.
Yeah, well, old fella, I tell you what, that man right there told me that Governor Stanley was afraid to leave the state because you'd be in charge, and he didn't know what you'd pull off.
I'm trying to hide the silverware.
Well, now, sir, I'm afraid that is untrue on every and all accounts.
Every account, folks.
Why, Governor Stanley and I, we had a relationship
of admiration and yes, well, trust.
Oh, really? So you really think you got a chance of beating Morrow in the fall?
Yeah.
And what about the rumor I heard that you're gonna free that Yatsu fellow that killed Governor Gold?
Killed him? Yeah, he shot him.
That's what I heard. You gonna pardon him?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, folks, it's all part of that church today. Yeah, I'm afraid I got to make two
Can't
more
take the
stops
heat.
before I
That's
get back
music.
to Frankfurt this evening.
Good. Body stops.
So, I just want to congratulate you, Sergeant Sandlin, and thank you for your service, sir. And I want to thank all my fellow Kentuckians for coming out here today to wish me well. I'm going to turn the podium back over to Representative Music.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was interesting. And thank you, Governor. We certainly wish you all the best in the fall. And we also hope you're backing President Wilson's decision to lead America into the League of Nations does not serve as an obstacle to your re-election.
Or an impediment. Get on your pony and ride over,
And now, our honored guest from Barron County will speak to us on an issue near and dear to us all here today, and that is education.
Education.
Miss Nettie Depp, would you please come forward?
Nettie Depp right there.
That's her.
Thank you, Representative Music, and the wonderful people of Breathitt County.
That's us.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to briefly mention how important it is for the citizens of our Commonwealth to educate themselves.
There we go.
I come to you as the first female elected to public office in Barron County, where I served as Superintendent of Public Instruction until 2 years ago in 1917. During that time, I worked hard to improve the conditions of our one-room schools, institutions in which more than half the children of Kentucky now attend.
Now, which one of those? Yeah.
Hear, hear! Bravo! Madam Superintendent, a position well earned.
Yay! Called you sir.
Yes, she likes me.
It was well and hard-earned indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize it is the year of our Lord 1919 and women in America do not have the right to vote?
No.
It was nothing short of a miracle that I was elected to the position of superintendent, given that someone of our gender could not cast a vote.
Aren't they trying to fix that?
Yes, you are correct, sir. The 19th Amendment must be ratified by the Commonwealth of Kentucky and as soon as possible.
I like women, and I'm for it.
I will count that as a yay vote when the time comes, gentlemen.
Yeah, he votes twice.
Polling place.
Education is vital to bringing our people into the 20th century. Things are changing rapidly. Electricity, telephones, why even roads will soon be making their way into our rural communities. And we must be prepared to make good of these changes.
Now, madam, I don't know nothing about no telephone. You sure make it sound good.
Indeed it is. Why, sir, one day you'll be able to call these fine gentlemen you are here with today from the comfort of your own home.
I don't want to do that.
I think I'd hang up on you.
Keep pushing for change in Kentucky, and it will happen. And let me leave you with this one last request. Give women the vote next year!
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Miss Cora Wilson Stewart. Miss Stewart Stewart is the founder of the Moonlight School Project over in Moorhead.
Yeah, that's round, Val.
She and Sergeant Sandlin have been traveling together with the admirable purpose of ending illiteracy in our Commonwealth. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cora Wilson Stewart.
Thank you, Representative Music, and thank you, Sergeant Sandlin, our hero. Thank you for lending your presence to this noble campaign. The sergeant and I will be traveling throughout East Kentucky for the next 10 weeks in an effort to make sure that all of our illiterate adults are in the public schools at night. Now, Sergeant Sandlin himself is a man of little education, but has seen the light and is willing to help in the cause. Ladies and gentlemen, moonlight schools are prevailing, and I have seen these communities transformed from moonshine and bullets to lemonade and Bibles.
That don't sound like no fun to me.
And as a result, the state government has asked that there'll be no more illiteracy by this time next year here in the Commonwealth.
1 year? That sounds like a pretty tall task, but we're
behind you on that one. It's pretty hard.
Sergeant Sandlin himself is a man of little education, but he's willing to help in the cause. Ladies and gentlemen, we must not let our schools sit idle. We must prevail.
I'm for that.
I'm for that.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, there are those amongst us who could benefit from some enlightenment.
That's right there.
Let me encourage you to seek out the benefits of what an education can do for a person.
I think she's casting a light on
Our schools should not sit idle in the evenings when they could and should be put to good use, educating the adults of Kentucky who have not been given the opportunity. But enough from me. Let me introduce to you our Willie Sandlin.
Hooray!
That's our Willie.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart, and certainly thank you to Representative Music and to Governor Black for coming all the way out here today. And,
Attaboy, Willie!
ladies and gentlemen, I stand here before you today. I'm just a humble man, and I'm a man who wishes to his almighty God that I had done things differently. When I was a child, I wasn't forced to go to school like most children. I was allowed to stay home if I so desired. And, well, what does a child of 7 or 8 know of the need to get educated?
Now tell us about them Huns you killed.
Yeah,
Willie.
tell us about them Huns.
That's what they want to hear.
That's what we want to hear.
Well, that was a rough day, and I knew that if we had all rushed those machine gun nests, that we all surely would have perished. So I've always been real good at slipping into the trees and hiding and such, and I just figured it'd be best if I went on alone. But the greatest war that I'm fighting today is right here in this country and in the Commonwealth. And that's the war against illiteracy.
But Willie, tell these fine people about what Blackjack Pershing said when he pinned that medal on your chest.
Yeah, what did old Blackjack say?
He was real busy. He was proud of me.
Yeah.
But he was proud of all them boys over there, though.
Americans.
I still have the medal, but I just keep it here in my pocket mostly.
What you gonna do now, Willie?
I think I'll go home to Wesley County. I'd like to take up farming again. But the best work that I'm doing today is our fight here against illiteracy. So,
What's it like to be a hero, Willie?
I don't feel no different, folks. I didn't want to have to kill all those fellas over there. But, that's what we were there for. I tell you, I've only ever had, 2 really happy days in my whole life. And, first one was when General Pershing put that medal on me, and the second one was the day that I came home from war.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Just whatever you want to put in here. You want one of these? It goes to kids that are going on a trip.
Junior! It's awful early for such like turn that thing down.
Mommy, I just now found the station.
I know I had my coffee and you know that noise hurts my head.
Okay, Mommy. Well, I guess Uncle Sam will be here directly. Said he'd be here a little after 5. It's a mighty long drive to Asheville.
How about you and Sam some breakfast ready?
Mommy, I don't know if I'm hungry. I'm too nervous and stirred up to eat.
Oh, you won't be excited no more when your stomach takes a rumbling. I know how you are. Seems like you can't never get full. So, how long is it going to take you to get there?
Well, Uncle Sam went down there for a visit a year or 2 ago, and he said it took about 10 hours if nothing went wrong. Lord, just getting out off the creek and out of this county takes a lifetime. So after that, we're bound to have it whipped.
Well, I'll wrap you in something up and take it with you then.
Oh, thank you, Mommy. Is there any of that cornbread left for dinner last night? If there is, I'd sure like to have a little of that to take with me.
Yes, there is, and I'll put a little butter on it too.
Oh, thank you, Mommy. It's gonna taste mighty good. I see old Blue broke her gear up again. Daddy, when are you gonna get rid of that old junk and buy a tractor? An 8-inch Ford won't cause you no trouble like that. You don't have to feed it or clean out the stalls.
Well, Junior, if you got that kind of money hid away somewhere and you want to buy it, have at it.
I swear, Blue tried to step on me yesterday when I was feeding her. I don't think she ever liked me anyways. And you remember that time she bolted on me when I was just trying to give her a drink out of the creek?
She remembers you trying to ride her like a horse. Animals don't forget once you make them mad.
I just did that a couple of times when I wanted to go on up to Sebastian's ranch to visit James. And don't Bud Stamper ride his mules. It's just too darn far to walk all the way around to Morrisburg.
Oh, I reckon you won't be around for a while, and maybe she'll get over it by the time you get back. When do you think that'll be?
Did I tell you that I'm going to be working on the farm at school? That they'll have a tractor. I know they've got a big dairy farm, so I'll probably be milking cows and learning that business. If every student there has to work, that's how I'll pay for going there, I suppose.
Do you think you'll make it on for Christmas? I mean, how are you going to get here?
I don't know the answer to that, Mommy. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'll sure get home if I can. Oh, that's Uncle Sam now. Let's see, I've got my case ready, and I've got that $5 to give me too. Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, I hate that you're not going to be able to say bye to little Eileen. She's going to be mighty disappointed. But we'll not wake her up. She'll not want to go back to bed, and the next thing you know, she'll be riding that pony up and down the creek.
Oh, Mommy, make her write to me. Come on in, Uncle Sam.
Good morning, Deaton family. Jerry, how you and Sophie doing this fine fall day?
Morning, Sam. Doing fine.
Come on in, Sam. I've got you and Junior something ready for the road.
Well, thank you, Sophie. Jerry, that new house is coming right along. I'd sure like to see you paint it up just like we did the Presbyterian manse around on Morris Fork. Brown with yellow trim on the windows, like they do back up home in Pennsylvania.
Sam, we appreciate you taking the time to draw up the plans, and once it's finished, we'll be glad to paint it just the way you want.
Well, Junior, I see you're all packed. We have a long drive ahead of us today.
How far do you think we'll get? All the way there?
Well, I do hope so. Depends on the roads and that old Mercury. Jerry, I think it's a fine thing you and Sophie are doing for Junior. He's got a mind to do things with his life, and a man needs an education these days if he's going to make it.
Yes, sir, Sam. He's a smart boy. I suppose you're right.
Sophie, how are all the girls? Now, I know Pauline's up in Ohio, but didn't Millie just go up there to live with her?
They're all fine. Yes, she did. Pauline got so homesick, she come home and begged us to let Millie go up there and finish out high school. Now, I weren't much for it, but she was just homesick over leaving.
And Ollie's still over at Lee's College in Jackson?
Yeah, but I think she's probably going to get married soon.
Well, that just leaves little Eileen here then. Guess it's going to be pretty quiet when you're out.
This old place just gets emptier every day. Sure not like it used to be. We're building that big new house, and
there won't be nobody left to live in it the way things are going.
Okay, well, Junior, it's time we got on the road. I'll get out in the car while you say your goodbyes. Sophie, you and Jerry need not worry. I'll make sure he gets there safe.
Thank you for doing this, Sam.
Daddy, I guess it's time to go.
Junior, are you sure you want to go so far away? What's the name of that place?
Daddy, it's Warren Wilson College. It's close to Asheville, North Carolina. It's a Presbyterian school. Uncle Sam wants me to be a minister.
Well, how will you get home? Sam can't ferry you back and forth.
I guess I'll just have to hitchhike. I've heard tell of people doing that. It seems to work pretty good.
Are you sure you won't just stay? We'll go to town on Monday. I'll talk to the bank. We'll buy the Crockettsville farm, if you will.
Oh, Daddy, I made my mind up. It's time to go. Farming and sawmilling. It is yours and Pa Charlie's life. I just feel like there's so much more out there that I want to know. And I can't learn it here at home.
Junior, we've got a good life here on this creek. I know it's a hard one, but it's good. And after I'm gone, you're the only one left to carry our family name.
I know I am, Daddy. Girls are thick in this family, but it ain't my fault you only had one boy. I'll be back every chance I get. And I'll still help you in the summers. And we'll finish up the new house out there, too. I promise.
I know you will, Junior. We'll be okay. I was just hoping. Everybody's done left this creek but us.
Mommy, what is it about these mountains that has such a hold on us? And Uncle Cash, and Uncle Doug, and Uncle Robert, they all left out of here years ago. They run home every chance they get. All they talk about is how bad they miss these old hills. That's like the water out there in that old creek. It's the same stuff running through our veins. Good Lord, people struggle to live here, but the second they leave, they can't never put it out of their minds.
Now you listen here, Junior. Just because you're mad at us over our ways does not give you the right to use the Lord's name in vain.
I'm not mad, Mommy. I didn't mean no harm. I guess I'm sort of scared. Something in me doesn't want to leave neither. Just trying to make you see what I mean and I've been living back up this holler my whole life. About all I've seen is what's in Jackson and maybe Winchester when we go to sell the tobacco. The Romans had paved roads 2,000 years ago. We didn't get ours paved till 7 years ago in 1950. And in Florida, now they're sending ships up into outer space. You've got people here who still don't have electricity or toilets in their houses. And sometimes I feel like that old radio is my only connection to the outside world.
Junior, I've known for some time that you were going to stay here forever. You got it in you to do something with yourself. Your daddy knows it too. He just won't say so. You know how he is.
Yeah, I know how he is. Mommy, does Daddy even love me? He doesn't treat me like he does the girls. He won't joke with me. And I work my tail off for him. And he makes over that old mule out there more than he does me.
Son, your daddy loves you to death. He's afraid. I guess, sort of like you. Things are changing. He's the third in line to live on this place, and he's afraid he might be just the last. People can't scratch a living on these hillsides no more. And 9 of his brothers and sisters has already left here for Ohio. I reckon I can see why he's scared.
I don't know what all's out there, Mommy. But I'm mighty excited about it. I sure am gonna miss you all. This one place.
I know, Junior. There's something for you to stand to eat on. There's a piece of bread in there, too. You better get going. Sam's not going to wait on anybody. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue. Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gone and left me blue.
Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a weather-beaten house down a dusty road that leads back in the hills, where father and dear mother wait for my return. But I'm down in Carolina learning skills. somewhere in Kentucky tonight. Old blue moon is sending down its light. All I ever needed is waiting there for me, somewhere in Kentucky tonight. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a little white frame church nestled in a clearing in the trees. A white-haired preacher talks about the lost and wandering souls. I know he must be thinking about me. Somewhere in Kentucky tonight, an old blue moon is sending down its light. All I ever needed is waiting there for me, somewhere in Kentucky tonight. Somewhere in Kentucky, there's a girl who walks alone, where once we walked together long ago. I promised I would love her, she said she would be true, till our names are carved together on a stone. Somewhere in Kentucky tonight, an old blue moon is sending down its light. All I ever needed is waiting there for me, somewhere in Kentucky tonight. All I ever needed is waiting there for me, somewhere in Kentucky tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Terry Gabhart. Well, that last show was about my dad. And one day I was sitting on the porch with him, and we were just talking about that, and I asked him about it. And he got to telling me, and I thought, well, you know, that's a pretty compelling story. And actually, my dad is here tonight. And the young man that was playing him is wearing about a 45-year-old shirt of my dad's. My mom and I hang on to everything. And so I get that from her. So that play, in 1957, people were just pouring. I mean, Eastern Kentucky was hemorrhaging people, and they were leaving just every day. And as they said, nine of his uncles and aunts had already left, and Papa was sitting there. He was the last one. And it was, you know, that was just how it was. And so that show it's got two really purposes. It was, you know, it was showing what it was like to leave Eastern Kentucky in the 50s, which you may as well have been sending him to the moon, probably. And then secondly, as Betty pointed out, it was the end of a way of life. That it just wasn't that way anymore. Eastern Kentucky was changing dramatically. The hills, you know, they used to grow corn on the sides of these hills and tobacco, and that was over. And everybody was seeing it and leaving out of there. So that play, I think, has special meaning and is probably my favorite one I've ever written. The next one...
You didn't get the house built, you mentioned.
Uh-oh.
We did finish the house.
He did finish the house, and I actually got to live in it for about 7 years. Uncle Sam did design it and told them how they were going to paint it. Still, if you go, if you're almost into Buckhorn, you look over to the right, there is still a big old brown house with yellow trim. on it sitting right there. So it's still there, and it was a nice house. And Dad helped. He did come home on weekends and help in summers and help, not weekends. He did come home in the summers and help him finish the house. So, the next show, I was in Sparks' store in Buckhorn one day, and I just was fascinated with the conversations that were going on. There were 3 or 4 people just sort of sitting around, and just the stuff that they were talking about was just, to me, so mundane, but to them so important, and just so far away too. So that's part of the allure of it. Is it just, it's something that was so far removed from Central Kentucky and what we think about. But everything that we talk about, I either heard that several times in Sparks, or my family did it, pulled it off, or somebody I know. So I didn't make any of this up. All this stuff happened, and let's see. Uh-oh. That means I'm supposed to be quiet and sit down. And I did corrupt our minister. I'll have to say that. Don't hold that against me in this place. So, ladies and gentlemen, a day at Sparks.
Fred, turn on the radio. We're about to miss Trading Post.
All right.
Trading Post.
Now, Kevin, I have some noodles for sale, $3 each, and I have about 50 of them. My husband has a 2000 Ford Fiesta for sale for $800, or the best offer he can get. I have a whole box of baby clothes, and I'll take $10 for them. And I have a box of VHS tapes, and I'll take $5 for them. My number is 606-734-2773. Thank you.
Okay, lady has about 50 doodles for sale. She'll take $3 each. A 2000 Ford Fiesta for $800, or best offer. A box of baby clothing for $10, and a box of VHS tapes for $5. Call 606-743-2773. That's 606-743-2773. Good afternoon, Trading Post.
Yeah, I got a Craftsman push lawnmower. Starts and runs pretty good. I'll take about $25 for it. I have a 13-inch spare trailer tire. Pretty good tread, holds air most of the time. I'll take $10 for it. And Kevin, I'm looking for a girlfriend, and I'm a good man, and give me a call at 606-563-3421. I'll say that number one more time. This is a phone call. 606-563-3421 after about 5 p.m. Thank you very much.
Okay, he's got a Craftsman push mower for $25, a 13-inch spare tire asking $10, and apparently he's available. 606-563-3421, 606-563-3421. Trading Post.
Yeah, I need a good used chainsaw, and I have a couple of rolls of new motor bar I'll offer in trade. My number is 606-786-8211. And Kevin, I know that last fellow that called in, and if he'd take a bath down there, he might be.
Okay, someone looking for a good used chainsaw has some new barbed wire he'll trade. He had some free advice for the last caller, 606-786-8211. That's going to do it today for the Trading Post. I'll have a Trading Post again for you tomorrow at 12:30.
Poor old fella. Now you reckon he ain't got no bathroom?
What makes you think that, Fred? Could be he won't take no bath. Some people are like that, you know. A bar of soap would have scared my Uncle Hobie Pond to death. He'd work a July day in the sawmill and just come in and just plop in bed. No, sir, it weren't pretty.
Well, Fred just likes to give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't you, Fred?
Well, Robert, some folks, they just ain't got it as good as we do.
Yeah.
You know, I think Kevin handled that caller pretty well. I don't know what I'd have done if somebody called up here wanting something like that.
Old Kevin Deaton. You know, I went to school with him. And he started that show back in 1982. Now, I can't believe people still calling and asking for things like that, too. I mean, look here. I got on Facebook Marketplace, and I found doodles for $2 a piece. $2 a piece, right up the road here at Turner Creek.
Okay, some people just don't like change, but they do like to hear what the person selling them doodles sounds like. It gives them some peace of mind.
Well, you can find anything on this phone if you can get a signal. That's the darn problem. I hate having to drive up to the top of the dam to get a signal. Oh, did I tell you what I seen up there too?
Yeah, you told us.
Come on, Betty. Who did Maxine have with her in the car up there? You know everything going on up and down this creek.
You got that right, but now it ain't all her fault that people come in here and spill on her like that. Now is it, Betty?
That's right.
No.
Betty's everybody's mama. Always has been, always will be, I reckon.
It looked like J.C. Turner. Or J.C. Betty, I hear he's cheating on Janie.
No. J.C. was in here that day.
Yeah.
He was walking because his car broke down and he needed some of them circuit breakers. I told him they was in here. Fred could find them. I didn't I, Fred?
You sure did.
By the door. Found them.
Right where I said it, didn't
It was J.C. working there.
Come on, Betty.
You fellers, don't be asking me that stuff like that. It weren't J.C. He ain't cheating on Janie. You know she's my cousin.
Oh! See? I know you know who it was.
How much is this?
$1. Boy, it sure is hot out there. Cash, what's that phone of yours saying it's going to get up to today?
I can't tell you. I ain't got no signal now.
Okay, why don't you just drive on up there to that dam and get you a signal? And while you're there, you ask Maxine who she has.
I know if it's already this hot in June, I sure do dread July and August. I guess I'm gonna have to get this fan to working again.
I wish you would.
Please
Lottie B. I'm not even gonna ask.
I ain't even gonna say.
Okay, is Robbie still weed eating over at the campground?
He is, but he ain't today. They sent him over to Hazard to do something.
Hey, he's been at that job for a pretty long time now, ain't he?
It'll be 2 years this September. He's worked for Corps of Engineers.
Has he seen any other copperheads?
Not this week.
Lord, that was a big one he killed last Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
3 foot is a big copperhead, boys. Well, I ain't never killed one no bigger than that.
It was a big one, and it wasn't given no ground neither. Upon my aunt, fellas. It struck at him 3 or 4 times before he cut its head off. And then he crushed the head. I swear to God, I had one latch onto my pants once after I cut its head off.
I've never heard of that happening. I don't know if that's true.
Cash, you think you could bite someone after they cut your head off?
Well, no.
Well, then how could a snake do it?
Well, they're different plants.
Well, I don't blame you not one bit, Cash. I don't take chances when it comes to snakes neither. Found one quilled up under my mower last week.
Oh.
Didn't know it was there until I started. Lord have mercy, what a mess. Oh, Betty.
One thing, how's Elmer doing since he had his heart attack?
He's doing much better, Fred. I told him it was too hot to be out there working on that driveway as old as he is. But you know how he is.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for that school bus and Debbie seeing him in the ditch, I don't know what would have happened.
I was gonna say, he is one lucky man for sure. It was a good thing the Buckhorn Clinic was open.
Sure.
So fast as Debbie drives that bus, I'm surprised she even seen him. I met her on that curve up above Herman Stamper's. She plumb near put me in the ditch.
Well, she wears a NASCAR cap every single day. Are any of y'all surprised?
Well, I just love her to death. She's an angel from heaven. If I had a young'un, I'd name it Debbie.
You want a beagle? I've got one right now I'm trying to give away. But it's a boy, but you can name it Debbie.
I can't name a boy dog Debbie.
Well, nobody will know it's a boy.
Cash, I hate to be the one to tell you, but it'd be pretty obvious. That dog weren't a
Hey, don't beagles bark all the time? I had one once. Barked so much it wore its voice plumb out. Yeah. Sounded like a...
Wanda Faye, did you find everything you came in here looking for?
I did. I got the last pack of candle lids over there. And, I need some allspice. You got any allspice, Betty?
No, sir, I can tell you right now, Wanda Faye, we ain't got no more allspice.
Wanda Faye, I was gonna say, I've got allspice in my kitchen. You can have some of it. Just go on over there, door's open. Look in that cabinet there by my stove. Take what you need.
You saved me a trip to Bateville. Fred, thank you. Will you put this on my bill?
Sure will.
You fellas be good. Oh, Betty, I'll call you later. There's something else I want to tell you.
Okay.
And you fellas, don't start nothing you can't finish.
Oh, Lord. Oh, all that howling got my belly growling. Gotta get me a nap. What we got? Oh, I see right here. Here we go. How much for this, Fred?
$2.
All righty. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Fellas, what do you think these bangers are made of?
I don't know. But you can put one of them on a saltine cracker. Ain't nothing any better.
Well, it ought to say right there on the can. Let me see. Mechanically separated porks. Chicken, beef, and pork.
I guess that means they swept up the floor. Put everything in the pot. Lips.
Holes in That's good stuff. But it kinda makes a man think, don't it? Well, what?
Ain't that girl of Alfred and Mandy's walking up the road?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's Donna. Looks like she's got that boy Monroe Turner's with her.
I thought she was in jail. When did she get out?
You fellers is worse gossips than any of us old women. You need to mind your own business. About 2 weeks ago. Don't say nothing to her about it.
Betty, you know everything going on this street. It was drugs again, wasn't it?
You don't none know what that poor gal has been through.
Ain't that the truth?
And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Her growing up under that Alfred Spicer.
Oh.
He's a rough customer.
I hear tell he cut a man plumb in half over in Jackson at the Bloody Bucket back in the day. And then, if that weren't bad enough, he took his hand and
Well, hello, Donna. How are you, honey?
Hi, Betty. I'm okay, I reckon. Sure hot today, ain't it?
How you been? We've not seen you for a while.
I'm fine. I've been staying over to Eltro with my Aunt Edna for the past few months. She fell and hurt herself, and she needed, and I had some time, so I thought I'd help her out.
How's your mommy?
She's fine. Back's been hurting her, I guess. Say, speaking of Mommy, she wanted me to come up here and get 2 packs of Marlboro Lights. Said to put them on her bill.
Donna, honey, Mandy told me to give no more credit. I'm really sorry.
Well, she really wanted them cigarettes, and she told me to get up here and get her some.
Well, let me just give her a quick call and make sure it's okay. Mandy, this is Fred up to the store. Fine. How are you? Yeah. Yeah, she's doing better. We took her to the doctor yesterday. Yeah, we will. Okay. Now, listen a minute. Listen. Is it all right if I put 2 packs of cigarettes on your bill? Donna's here and she... Okay. Yeah. All right, Mandy. All right. Now, tell Alfred we said hello, and you take care of it. Y'all come see us. Donna, honey, I'm sorry. But she said no.
That's okay, Fred. I guess she changed her mind. Say, Betty, y'all don't need any help here or anywhere around or at the store or anything, do ya? I've been trying to find work and things have been hard.
I wish I could, but things has been so slow since the COVID. But I know Pam down at the dairy bar is looking for something.
Donna, let's go. They ain't gonna give you no smokes. They ain't got no job. You don't need one no ways. I told you what we was getting ready to do.
I don't want to do that no more. Look at what it's done to me. You've been nothing but a curse on my life since the day I met you, Carl Turner. I'm sorry, y'all. I've made such a mess.
Well, by God, I'm leaving. You can go with me or you can stay. I don't care what you do.
Donna, honey, wait a second. Now that I think about it, the last time your mommy was in here, she forgot this.
What about that, boys? She used to be a teacher over there at the high school.
Yeah.
She did. It was them drugs that ruined her. We'll sell them right out there in the parking lot. That's what they said. I've known her my whole life. It's a shame.
Boys, things is a mess right now. Remember back when we was young, we'd smoke a little pot, drink a little beer. Times have changed with all these pills. People mixing things up in their sinks, it's just pure poison.
You know, there's 2 drug dealers right now up Morris Fork. And it's hard to tell how many up Squabble Creek. The police, they's bound to know about it, but there's so many people wanting them drugs. I guess they just can't do nothing about it.
I was gonna say, I was just thinking back. Donna was such a pretty little thing.
Oh, yeah.
And dancing in here in her little Easter dress. And then she'd go prancing around the ice cream cooler back there.
Yeah.
Things sure have changed.
Sure have. Well, I've got to tell this. It's right sad, but it's kind of funny too. You know my nephew Jimmy over there on Grapevine? Yep. Well, he got a job with the county picking up garbage about 6 months ago. Well, last week they sent him out for a drug test. When they called with the results, my sister said, they asked him which do you want to hear first, the good news or the bad news. Well, the good news was he passed the test. Yeah. And the bad news was he might be pregnant. They fired him right there on the phone.
That'll teach him to borrow off his girlfriend.
That'll teach him to use protection.
Fellas better watch your mouth around here. There's no telling who might be back there listening. But it was kind of funny.
All this laughing give me a little bit of a sweet tooth now. How much one of the candy bars for you? $1. Oh, there you go. There you go. Fred, you want to buy this Fifth Avenue bar?
No, Cash, I don't. Now, you know I got the diabetes.
Well, I do too.
Well, I hate to leave good folks, but I got to head over to Hazard and got to take Mary Ann, get her hair done.
Robert, you be careful out there and take care.
Tell Mary Ann I said hello.
Yes.
Lips and soul.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate it. You all were a really, really good audience. If you liked our show, we've got one more left. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here.
3.
Yeah, if you come at 7, it's over. So whoever, all of y'all, thank you for pointing that out. I want to introduce Sandy Gabhart. She is our stage manager. Wonderful actress. She does a fantastic job. Stage managing is not easy. And look what a crowd that she had to manage too. I want to tell you folks, from top to bottom, this cast was absolutely fantastic. So I think we ought to give them a... Thank you, and we're going to line up right here. You all can stream by and say hello to everybody. So thank you all again for coming.